Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video by Osmo Stuff. I happen to be Osmo Stuff, and today we are doing a story time. I'm going to be telling you guys about how I fell pregnant. No, Jesus, no. How I found out I was pregnant. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video about Osmo Stuff. I happen to be Osmo Stuff, and thank you so much for tuning in on yet another story time. Today I will be telling you guys about how I found out that I was pregnant. I've been promising you guys this video, and finally it's time that I deliver on what I promised. I will tell you guys how I fell pregnant, how I told my partner, and obviously how I told my parents and how we told his parents as well. As you guys can see, there's a new background. So we got a chest of drawers, obviously, for my son's clothes, and it happened, the only space that was available was where I shoot. But yeah, so let's get into the story time, and I hope you guys do like, do comment, and do subscribe. Okay, so I am having a young drink while I'm telling this story. This is not what you guys know me to drink. This is a young something. My son is sleeping right here, obviously. So he might wake up. I don't know. I have faith that he won't. So if he does, he will disturb our video. Don't have children, guys. Don't have children. So I do have a young flu going on. So please, don't mind my voice. I am quite sick, but I decided to just get out of bed and get this video out for you guys. So set scene. It is the year 2021. It is the year 2021, the year where baby girl is living her best life, the year where baby girl is in a beautiful, healthy relationship with a wonderful man, living my best life, wonderful friends, wonderful family, not knowing that God is going to add another addition to my family. Anyway, so backstory, before, I don't know where I should put this backstory. Let me put it here. Backstory, 2019. I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but I have spoken about it. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had mentioned that in 2019 I had an operation. I will do a separate story time about that whole situation, but I had an operation and I ended up finding out that I will never have kids in my life, from two separate doctors, two different doctors that have no relation to each other whatsoever. Both told me, your boyfriends have started. Both told me that I will not be able to conceive ever in my life. So that's what I thought. So again, I had lived my life knowing that I'm not gonna have kids. Right, if you know what I'm trying to say. I was just living my best life. Okay, well, okay, so in 2020 I was on contraceptives. In 2019 I had, during my operation I was on contraceptives, right? And then I just continued with my contraceptives, and I remember in 2020 towards the end of the year, I went for my injection, and my injection made me go on my period. Obviously, that's what it does. But I had went on for so long, and I was like, it's not the first time, the first time you go on contraceptives, because your hormones are just adjusting, you will go on your period for longer than usual, right? So now, usually when I start my contraceptive, if I've stopped for a long time and then I start again, I'm gonna go on my period for 18 days or so, right? So I did that in the beginning of my contraceptive. Now, towards the end of the year 2020, sorry, I'm still going for my injection. I got the injection, but I hadn't stopped, right? Keep that in mind. I hadn't stopped. I hadn't taken a break, nothing. And then I went this one time and my period started again and it didn't stop. So when you're on the injection, for some people, I hope you guys are as lucky as I am. When you're on the injection, you don't go on your period, right? At all, like ever. You don't go on your period. Me. Let me say I don't go on my period. I hope you guys are as lucky as I am. And my period started, and I was like, what is this? Which one is this one? You know, because I did kalanga. And I went for 16 days on my period. And I was just like, there is absolutely no way. There's no way. So I decided I'm going to stop my injection. I'm going to stop. I had a conversation with my boyfriend. I was like, Brami, I'm going to stop my contraceptive because of this and this. And he was also supportive of this decision, of this horrible decision. He was also like, yeah, you can stop it. It's fine. Whatever. So I stopped my contraceptive. Mistake number one. I stopped going for my injections. Also, in my mind, I can't have kids. Why like, what's the use? The only reason I had continued to go for the injection was because I enjoyed not having my period, right? So if I am having my period, what is the use of me going for my injection? You understand? Jesus. So ndayeka contraceptive 2020 sharp. The years keep going. The months keep going. There's nothing weird. My period comes back, so I'm like going on my monthly period like normal people now. Annoying AF, but I was just like, it's fine, whatever, I don't care. I was going on my period, and then in my pregnancy announcement vlog, I told you guys that we went to Cape Town. There's a vlog on that. We went to Cape Town with my partner, and that is where I conceived. And then sharp, okay, now this is how I found out that Connie situation. We come back from Cape Town, cool. A week after we came back, not a week, I think 3 weeks, yeah, 3 weeks or so, man. I don't have the time period like exact, but a while, let's say a little while after coming back from Cape Town, I went home to my parents' place. I went home, and when I got home, we found out that there was a death in my family, so we had to go to a funeral at my aunt's place in Soweto, right? Like the whole family had to go to the funeral. So cool. The week we found out about the funeral on a Monday or on a Tuesday, I'm not sure, but on the Monday, I think it was a Monday. On the Monday, I'm supposed to start my period on the Tuesday evening. Nah? I'm so sorry if I got my times wrong. My period is supposed to start on Tuesday morning, like Monday evening Monday night going into Tuesday. So my period always started midnight. Like when I sleep, I start with cramps while I'm asleep, and I know when I wake up, I'm going to be a bloody situation, right? So what I would do is, if my app tells me that tomorrow your periods are starting, tonight I'd sleep prepared because my period is coming, right? So it's the Monday. My app tells me, hey yo babes, you better be aware, pretty soon it's going to be a bloody situation, right? I'm like, period. I decide, okay, I don't have pads. My pads are here. I remember I'm back home at my parents' place. My pads are back here, so I don't have pads there. So I go to the shop. This was the day of the lootings, when the looting started in Joburg. So shops were closed. I went to Spar's closed. I went to Pick and Pay is closed. I'm like, I'm fucked basically. So I have to find a garage. Hey, even the garages are like not letting people in. Some are closed. Luckily, I found like a Young Engine close to the Glen Mall that was open. So I went there. I got my pads. I got my painkillers. Like, I was sorted. I got my snacks. I was prepared for this period, okay? I go back home. When I walk home, I bump into my mom inside the house, like in the passage. As I'm walking to my room, I bump into my mom, and she's like, I don't pretend on the plastic in. Like, what do you have in the plastic? And I'm like, zip heads, I'm gonna start my period tomorrow. My mom's like, oh, okay. I go into my room. Hey, midnight hits. I was still awake, and I know, like, my periods are never late, guys. My periods are never ever late. Like, not by chance, not by miracle. But my period says she's coming, she's here, okay? So okay, midnight, I'm still on my phone, I'm chatting to my boyfriend. Hi, periods. Dololo. I go to the bathroom, I'm like, there's not even like a young spotting and I saw nix, nada, zuch. Actually, what a boring way of finding out that I was pregnant. Like, I literally missed my period. I really wish like I found out in a dramatic way like other people, but like it was so boring. Anyway, so okay, Tuesday, dololo, Wednesday, dololo, Thursday, dololo. Thursday we go as a family to Soweto to my aunt's place because the funeral's on Saturday. I haven't told my boyfriend that bruh, my period's a bit late. I haven't said nothing, nada. Of which like I'll tell him if there's a need to tell him. I wasn't thinking of pregnancy, guys. I was just like, my period is, where's my period? Because remember, in my head I can't have kids. In my boyfriend's head, we can't have kids. We are never going to have kids. If ever we decide to have kids, we're going to have to adopt. This is what we thought. So pregnancy is far from our heads, right? Okay. Nanku pregnancy is sleeping right here right now. Anyway, I get Thursday we go to my aunt's place. Cool. Friday, dollar period. I tell my cousin, I'm like, bruh, I know this is weird, but I haven't gotten my period. So now my whole family knows what the doctor told me. So my whole family is just like, nah, it can't be. My cousin's like, just like buy a test just to be sure. So I'm like, hey, really? You must have buy a test? Me? I'm like, yeah, let me think about it. Okay, sharp. I guess Mwabe Saturday. So you guys know, like in African culture, it's not African culture, I'm lying. In South Africa, most people after a funeral have like a after tears. So we're having the after tears, and then that's the guys with my Savannah. But is Savannah ayingeni? Like we bought so much, but it wasn't like it wasn't, you know, like I'd have like, so me in my past life, guys, in one sitting I could kill a 6-pack of Savannah and still go to open up another 6-pack, you understand? But there been so like yay wine, like the wine wasn't going, like I would drink it but I wasn't enjoying it to the point where I want more. Do you get me? Huh? Guys, fine. The Saturday, I did the after tears. I had like 2 Savannahs, and I still put the other Savannahs in my boot, guys. When I tell you those Savannahs were only drank now last month, 11 months later, not by me though, I gave them to a friend, but still 11 months later. Saturday is the funeral, sharp. Sunday kuvukwe, you guys know abantu are babelazing, we're cleaning the yard because it's the day after the funeral. We are cleaning, we are doing everything, cooking to feed family because family came from Eastern Cape and from all over. So we are cooking, we are doing all of that. My cousins are drinking while doing this, having fun, like the things that we usually do, like preparing for stuff while drinking and having fun. I'm not drinking. Oh, Kondi Savannah A1, guys. Oh, Kondi Zulang Savannah A1. I'm holding this one Savannah, and it's not like I'm not interested. You know, for some, I don't know why. Even my cousins were like, you. I'm just like, bruh, I don't understand. I'm not enjoying it. They offered me brutal fruit still. Like, I wasn't interested in alcohol. Sharp. Monday, I was leaving. Monday, I was going back to my parents' place. Monday, I wake. No. Yes. Monday, I wake up. I leave Soweto. On my way to home, I pass by a Clicks. I buy a test. That big box, guys, that has 2 tests inside. The Clicks brand though, not the clear blue ones. The Clicks brand. And Tenge, I go home. I get home, I put them because I'm like, I'm gonna take these with my morning pee because I want to be sure. You understand? Guys, I even forgot about it like throughout the evening. I wasn't stressing about it. I was just like relaxed because in my head, I can't have children. So what am I stressing about? You understand? Shabu, I get home on Monday, still chatting to my boyfriend. But like, now I'm like, thinking, good human, what if? Because like life is a bit weird. You understand? Why am I not drinking? But I'm not like thinking about it too much, but it's still like a thought in my head. It's not in the front of my head. It's like in the middle of my head somewhere. I text my boyfriend. I'm like, bruh, what would you do if? You understand? And he's like, why are you asking me that? I'm like, what would you do if? Just answer the question. What would you do if? And he's like, I mean, if that were to happen, then obviously I'd be there for the baby, blah 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 blah. Why do you ask? I'm like, no, I'm just curious. What would happen? You understand? And also him, in his head, I can't have kids, so he's not even thinking about it. We should have thought about it, actually. Now that I think, we should have thought about it. Okay, fine. Tuesday morning. So I didn't really tell him like I'm suspecting anything or whatever. I just kept like asking questions. And now I think it was so far from his head that he let it go. Like he didn't pester to ask like, oh, what's going on? You understand? I get sharp, fine. Tuesday morning I wake up. I remember, like, you know, when you wake up, you go, the first thing you do is pee. Well, normal people, if you don't do that, you need to get that checked out. Normal people go to pee first thing in the morning. So I wake up and I'm like, I need to go pee. And I remember, oh yeah, I have to do that ting. Yeah. So I take one out the box and I go to the bathroom. I pee on the stick. Relax. You know when I say relaxed? I pee on the stick. Immediately when I pick up the stick to put it back in its thing, I need to must put it on a flat surface. That's where I'm like, hey, what if this thing has 2 lines? What if this thing has 2 lines? I take it, I put it on my bedside table. I get back in bed. I text my boyfriend. I'm like, bruh, how did you sleep? He's like, no, I slept well. How did you sleep? I'm like, I didn't sleep well. He's like, why? I'm like, ish, I was stressing all night. And like, he's so relaxed. Like, he's not, because he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, in his head, like, he has no stresses. And that made me angry. Uguti, I'm stressed and you're not stressed. But I didn't tell him what I'm stressed about, you understand? But still, man, why are you not stressed with me? Even though you don't know, why are you not what's the word? Adapting my stress as my person. Why are you not adapting my stress and we're both stressed even though you don't know what I'm stressed about? You get? So, I get angry at him. I get angry at him and then I start a fight. And one thing about my husband now, he was my boyfriend then. One thing about my boyfriend. I will be here and he'll be so calm. I'll literally be so angry and he's just like, so I'm angry and I'm starting a fight and he's not giving me what I want. You understand? Like, he's not giving me the fight back. He's on some, babe, like, what's going on? What's up with you? And I'm like, you know, like, I was angry. Hi, Kim, fine. I stopped talking to him. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'll handle this after I find out what's going on with this thing. If this thing comes out with 1 line, then I'll go back to him and act normal, like this didn't happen. You understand? Like, that was my thought. I wasn't even thinking that it's like it could be 2 lines. I wasn't thinking, okay, if it's 2 lines, what will I do? Will I tell him why I was angry? Like, you know, 2 lines were not in my head at all. I face, so the bedside table is here. I face this way and I'm on my phone. I'm texting, minding my own business. I'm giving this man, I'm like, yeah, Ibile, you are not angry with me and I'm telling you what, I was stressing all night, and when you're not worried about me stressing all night, why are you not worried about me stressing all night? When you don't care about me. Like, I was going in. Dating a Hlanyo. Not that I'm a Hlanyo. I was. Not anymore. I know better now. I'm a mom. Okay? Okay, sharp. I set an alarm on my phone. I think the box said 5 minutes or something like that, but the box told you how many minutes you should wait. So I set those minutes on my phone. Hi, it call alarm me iPhone. Bring. I turn around, guys. I was so I don't even know what the word is, but I literally just looked like this. Like, I wasn't even interested. I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna sit up, I'm gonna look at it. I just looked at it like this. It said 2 lines. It said 2 lines. Kuba Ubona stress sikubethe apha. Stress sikubethe apha. I looked at it. It said 2 lines. I looked away. I was like, Jesus, I'm dreaming, because there's no way. What do you mean? What do you mean? Dipinandi chonge. And then yani guys, it's 2 lines. Diphakamisele test. I look at it. I'm like, okay, I bought 2 tests. This one is lying. There's no way. This one is lying. I go to the kitchen. I drink water because I want to pee on the other one right now. I drink water. I drink gang water. I drink water. I take my test. I go to the bathroom. I pee on the stick. I put it on my bedside table. Now I'm interested. Now it has my attention. You understand? I look at it like this. And that time, time and go. On my phone. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, okay, 1 minute has passed. 2 minutes has passed. 3 minutes has passed. Like now I'm not timing. Please. What? Please. Yeah, 2 lines, but the second line was like really light. It was really light. That's it. Google's like, nah, B, you're pregnant. It's just very light because you drank water. Otherwise, when I meet into serious. When I tell you, I wasn't thinking. You know, your brain goes blank. I was in pajamas. I didn't even bath. That's a legging. That's a hoodie. I got in my car. I drove to his work. Yo. I drove to his work. I call him. Hello. He's like, so I had started a fight. So he's annoyed at me already. He's like, hi. I'm like, hey, I'm outside. He's like, outside what? I'm like, I'm outside your work. Please come outside. He's like, Oi, are you here to fight? Like, I'm really like busy right now. I'm not trying to do this. What? I'm like, dog, come outside. He's like, no, I can't come outside. I'm busy at work. Blah blah blah. And the type of job he does, he can't just leave, right? He has to like finish what he's doing first before he leaves what he's doing. Before he starts another task. Am I making sense? Like he can't just leave a task in the middle of a task. If that makes sense. I don't know how to, but he couldn't come out at that moment. He's like, bruh, can you give me 30 minutes? I'm like, I'll wait. He's like, okay, sharp, guys. I think he made me wait 45 minutes. 45 minutes, that man. And I see him walk out. So he thinks I'm here to fight, right? Because he knows he thinks I'm here to fight. So he comes out and I could already see with his walk, he's annoyed. Like, he's here to tell me, like, you better, like, leave right now because I'm at work. This is my work. You can't just come, whatever. So as he's walking towards my car, he comes towards the window. As he's approaching the window, I'm like, again, don't come to the window. Inside. I want you here by the passenger. He rolls his eyes. He looks at me and I'm like, he's like, he goes around the car. He gets inside. He comes in. He's like, yes. So he thinks I'm here to fight. I'm like, hi. He's like, hi, oi. Before I even say anything, he's like, because I was at home, but that day I was coming back here, right? Because I was at the funeral, and then the plan was on Monday I'm gonna go back to my parents' house and sleep one night, and then on Tuesday I'm gonna come back here. Sharp. Well, this is home now, so I'm gonna come back home on Tuesday, right? It's been home. What am I saying now? On Tuesday I'm gonna come back home. Sharp. So he gets in the car. He's like, bro, you're coming home today. Like, couldn't we do this at home? I'm like, do what? Do what? So I'm like, do what? He's like, are you here to like finish what you started on the phone? I'm like, no. Okay, what's up? I'm like, do you love me? Guys, in his head, it's still about the fight, right? He's like, oi, you took me out of my job where I was busy to come ask you if I love you. You couldn't wait for us to go home later and you asked me this. I'm like, bruh, do you love me? He's like, yes, I do. I'm like, okay. Do you see a future with me? He's like, yes, I do. But like you can see what he wants you to finish talking. Like, you understand? He's like, yes, I do see a future with you. I'm like, when you say future with me, it's me, you, and who? He's like, what? I'm like, when you say future, when you say you see a future with me, what is this future? He's like, oh, you're here for games and I'm not trying to have that. Like, can we do this later? I'm like, no, we have to do this now. He's like, okay, you have 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, okay, it's like, you have 15 minutes. And one thing, guys, about my partner, like, he's strict. Like, he's very, like, people who know him, he's very playful. Like, he's more playful than me, to a point where I'm just like, dog, like, where did I get you? He's very playful than me. But like, when it comes to serious situations, he doesn't play. You understand? So a serious situation, like him being at work, like, he's not trying to play. He's like, yeah, 15 minutes. I'm like, okay. When you say you see a future with me, it's me, you, and who? He's like, me and you and the children we're going to adopt. Like, what's going on, bruh? And I'm like, okay. I take out the box. I had put them back in the box. I take out the pregnancy test. I take out the box and I hand him the box. He takes you can see his face change from like annoyance to shock. Like, initially he was like, and then now it's, you understand, now it's shock. Okay, I give him the box. He opens it. He takes out one. He takes out one test and it's 2 lines. He takes out one test, he looks at it, he puts it back in the box and he closes the box. And I'm like, there's 2 inside the box. He's like, well, I'm pretty sure if one is positive, the other one is positive too. I'm like, yeah. We keep quiet for like 10 minutes, just sitting in silence. And I'm like, I don't want to break the silence because I don't want to break his thought process, right? But also, like, I'm trying to like judge the situation. Is he like mad? Is he like excited? Is he like in shock? Like, I'm trying to look at him and like he's just staring outside the window. And then he starts laughing. He starts laughing. He's like, dog, we're gonna be parents. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be parents. And we both laugh. Like, we just laughed. We laugh. And then like after laughing, we're like, okay, so, and then he's like, okay, so I have to ask you because you understand. He's like, are you keeping it? I'm like, yeah. And he laughs and he's like, bruh. He takes out his phone, he googles what you call nappy prices. He googles Pampers prices. He shows me. He's like, dog, is this gonna be our life? I'm like, yeah. We start laughing. We laugh. And then he's like, you know, coming out here, I thought you wanted to come and finish what you started on the phone, blah 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 blah. Now I don't even go back and say yes about that, you know. I'm just like, hey dog, I just wanted to come show you this. Like, I wasn't even thinking straight. Like, the first thing I decided to do was come drive here because I didn't know what to do with the situation. Like, I was genuinely shocked. And he's like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. If you're planning to keep the child, I'll be here, blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, hey, that we're gonna be parents. He's like, yeah, so I have to go back to work. You coming home later? We'll talk about this more later. I'm like, sharp. I drive back home. Now I'm looking at my mom. I'm like, I really want to tell, because like my mom and I are really tight and we talk about everything, right? I'm like, I really want to tell you this, but like, I don't know. But like at the same time, but like, you know, I'm just like, you know, I get ready to go to come here. Get ready, come to our place. Okay, the first night, guys, he was so fussy. I remember the light, I was sitting in the sitting room and the light was on and he switched off the light and he's like, the light is bad for the baby. I'm like, the baby's not even like formed yet. He's still liquid, I'm sure. Like, what do you mean? Uvukile sana. Ooh, pregnancy test is wide awake. Hello. Okay, I think he's falling back asleep. Anyway, sharp. He was like very fussy and we're like, yeah, we have to like get what do you call, we have to go see a gynae and like see if the baby's like fine and if he's in my uterus or if he's still in my tubes or whatever. Like, we had to like make sure, you understand. So we booked a thingy with a gynae. The gynae confirmed that, yeah, you're pregnant, and I was 4 weeks pregnant when I found out. So you guys can imagine, I've been new. I've known for like so long that I was pregnant because I found out the first month. So 8 months I knew I was pregnant. 8 months no alcohol. 8 months no hubby. 8 months of hell. Anyway, okay, sharp. How I told my parents. So we decided we're gonna tell my mom together. So I told my brother. One day I went home and I found my brother chilling in the living room watching TV, and I was like, "Hey, bruh, I have something to tell you." My brother's younger than me. He's 3 years younger than me. I'm like, "I have something to tell you," and he's like, "What's up?" So I found my brother watching TV, and I was like, "Bruh, I have something to tell you," and he's like, "What's up?" So I told him that you're gonna be an uncle, and he wasn't excited. He wasn't shocked. He was just like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, that's cool." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Sure." And then the whole time, like, he kept quiet for like a really long time, and I was like, "This is awkward." Like, and then after some time, he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that's when he was like, "Oh my god, did you tell mom?" Blah 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 blah. Because he thought I was joking initially. It's like, "Bro, I haven't told your mom. Like, we don't know how to tell her, whatever, whatever." And he's like, "Yo, good luck with that." I was like, "I need it." I need it. Okay, cool. So how we told my mom is we decided we're gonna take her out to lunch. Decided we're gonna take her out to lunch for Women's Day. On Women's Day, we told her, "Listen, we're gonna take you out for lunch. Please get ready. I'm gonna come pick you up." She's like, "Okay, cool." My boyfriend was at work, right? I'm just gonna say my boyfriend because he was my boyfriend at the time. My boyfriend was at work, and he was going to join us later after like he finishes work at the lunch. So I went to go pick my mom up and my brother because I asked my brother to be there. We went to pick them up and we went to the lunch. And at the lunch I was like, I really want to tell her, but like I'm gonna wait for him to come. So he comes and we're all sitting, we're eating, having fun, laughter, like we were laughing and having fun and whatever. And then after eating, as we're about to get the bill, my boyfriend texts me. He's like, "Bruh, when are we gonna tell her?" I'm like, "Dog, I'm trying to think of a way to tell her. Like, give me some time." He's like, "Okay, cool. Do you want me to tell her?" I'm like, "Go for it." I thought he was joking. He's like, "Mama, there's something we have to tell you." I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But I was like, okay. I look at my brother. My brother already knows what's going on. He's sitting there with a smile, ready for like my mom's reaction and whatever. Hey, he's sitting there with a smile, and baby is like, "Yeah, we have something to tell you. Oi and I are expecting." Mom's like, "You?" That was literally my mom's response. She's like, "You?" She looks at my brother. My brother's there smiling. My brother's like, "Congratulations, you're gonna be a grandmother." My mom is like, "Katule win." Katule win. And he's like, my mom's like, looks at us for like a really long time, and we just like, "Are you gonna say something?" Like, you know. She looks at me, she's like, "Are you guys expecting me to," but in Xhosa, she's like, "Are you expecting me to say something?" We're like, "Yeah." She's like, "I can't decide. It's like, I'm not gonna, there's nothing for me to say." And we're like, she's like, "Give me time, I'll get back to you guys." We're like, okay, this is awkward. And we're just like, and she's like to me, like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "Because I wanted like to make it special. We took you out for lunch so I could tell you." Blah, blah. My mom is like, "I'm not a white person. I don't need anything special. You could have come to me and told me." I'm like, "Ish. Okay, I mean, I guess, but I was trying to make it special, you understand?" And my mom is like, I have nothing to say to you guys. When I've processed this information, I will get back to you guys, and that's it. It's like, okay, we get the bill, and now I have to drive with this lady in the same car because I picked her up, her and my brother, I picked them up. So I have to drive in the same car with them. Guys, when I tell you guys, in the car, she spoke about everything but what we just told her. She spoke about everything else. Mind you, when I went to varsity, like my first year of varsity, my mom told me, "Don't fall pregnant. If you fall pregnant, this money that we are using to pay for your school fees at Wits is the money we are going to use to take care of that child, so you will no longer have a school to attend. So now I'm done with Wits. I'm making my own money. I think the last time I even asked my mom for money was like a year ago. You understand? The last time I even used my mom's money was 2019. I've never asked for a cent for her, so I'm independent. You understand? But like at the same time, she's not saying anything. Why are you not saying nothing, my guy? You understand? I also drive. I play music. Get home. She says bye. I'm like, ish. Please don't tell your sisters. I want to tell them myself. So my aunts, because my aunts and I are close. I'm like, please don't tell them. I want to tell them myself. Mom's like, when are you going to tell them? I'm like, I'm driving there now before I drive back to here, 4 ways. Look, I'm driving there now before I go back to 4 ways. My mom's like, alright, cool. I drive to my aunt. I tell her. My aunt was super, super excited. And I'm like, why couldn't my mom be like this excited? Like, why was she like so mellow about it? And like, you know, but like my aunt is like so stoked and like, you know, cool. My aunt immediately calls my mom. Obviously my mom is like, can you believe it? Oh Isa. And whatever. And my aunt is like why are you not happy? Mom is like, hi, like I've never imagined her being pregnant, so now that I hear that she's pregnant, it's like, what? Do you understand? Okay. A week goes by and my mom, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see my mom. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm hoping she brings it up, but I want to like go see her to see if like we're still cool. And so I'm going to test the waters. So I drive home. I get home and she sits me down and she asks me, have I been to a gynae? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, is the child already in your uterus or is it still in the tubes? I'm like, nah, in my uterus. He's in my uterus, but I didn't know the gender then, obviously. So I was like, no, the child is in my uterus. And she was excited all of a sudden. And I was like, which one is this one? She was excited and she was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a grandma, whatever. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm not going to tell your husband, my dad. I'm like, I'm not going to tell your husband. So please do pass on the message. Pass on the message to my dad, because I'm not going to tell him that I'm pregnant. But she eventually told him and he was chilled, hey? Somebody's wide awake. Anyway, so that's how we told my parents. My mom eventually told my dad. My dad didn't ask me about it till today. He's met his grandchild. My grandchild has slept in their bed with them. But my dad has never ever asked me, am I pregnant? Like my dad never brought it up, ever. Even when my tummy was showing, my dad never said anything. I remember there's a time when my tummy was showing and I went home and my dad wasn't home. As I'm driving out, my dad was driving in. So I got out the car to go hug him and he hugged me. I'm like, yo, Dad, no mkhaba. And he's like, nah, we. And we laughed about it. And that was it. Like he never asked me about it. And then my partner's parents, we drove down to Nelspruit. When we got there, we sat them down and we told his mom. We sat his mom down because his sisters already knew. And they were also there to like be our saviors in a way. And we sat them down, we sat mom down, we told her, and literally all she said was, okay. Literally, all she said was, okay. And I think she was also processing like the information, but then after that she became so supportive, checking on me, making sure making sure everything is fine and all of that. But yeah, that's how we told our parents. I think the only dramatic part of the story was how I told my boyfriend, but how we told our parents was so chilled. Like it was literally the most chilled. Okay, this guy is awake now and that's the end of my story time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I will do a story time on my birth and how I gave birth, obviously. Let me know if you guys want to know like about my pregnancy journey as well, like how horrible it was, because it was horrible and I don't mind telling you guys how horrible it was. I'll do that. Let me know if you want that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys to the moon and back and to the moon again and back again and so on and so forth. Bye.